Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Young Justice Phantoms review. I am Cousin Cheeto of NerdTube. We're going to get right into it because it's a little late here, and wow, just a lot going on here in this whole shebang. We are on the what I thought would have been the last episode of the Zatanna arc. Actually, just turned into because I know the previous couple arcs were like 4 episodes long, so I figured this one would be, wrapping it up in this episode. Oh no, oh no, we're kicking it into high gear now. Okay, so this is episode 12, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but backwards it is "Go Forth and Conquer." I just want to note the little nitpick that if you spell the "Go Forth and Conquer," it's spelled wrong because like it's spelled fourth is spelled Hitrof, which in all actuality should be spelled Htirof. I think fourth. I don't know. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. I don't know. But I noticed it and I'm like, wait, that's not spelled right. So anyway, and if I'm wrong, whatever. I really don't care. So we open up this episode right where we left off in the last one, where Tinkles gets killed, and Clarion goes back to the Chaos Lords, or goes back to the Chaos Realm. Tinkles kind of shrinks back down into his little kitty cat form, and Child, that the new Chaos Lord, just blows the heck out of the the Tower of Fate. Just rocks the whole thing. Just she like snaps her fingers or blows the little fires and just blows the whole thing to Kingdom Come. So yeah, she ain't fucking around. Um, so after all of this has happened, we do get a little bit of a origin story about. Everybody take a shot. That's a first yawn. We only got about 2 minutes in this time. Um, we get a little bit of and I think actually this was the beginning of the episode. We got an origin story of Zatanna now. When he was when he's a stage performer, and then Zatanna was a little girl, and he's with his wife, and he wanted to do more. So they kind of build on this throughout the whole episode. So there's kind of a couple things going on here. We go back to the fight, and Dr. Fate is like, I'm done screwing around, and he goes to do, and then just Child just rocks Dr. Fate across the world. And Mary of the Shazamly is, she actually steals the power of the other two guys, 13, and I can never remember that guy's name. The other guy, who's the doctor. I'm gonna call him the doctor. Takes her powers because she's trying to. And then she does Power of Zeus and tries to shoot Child, and Child's just like, deuces, and then just goes. And yeah, Dr. Fate at this point, his helmet is cracked, like straight down the side. So I don't know what that means, because I mean the helmet of Fate has been compromised. Seems like it's okay at the moment. But yeah, so anyway, then we get a small little blurb with Garfield. He's back on the set of Space Trek. They're kind of recording some scenes, and he's just not able to perform as an actor. And the director's kind of like, cut, come on, we're trying to get this done. People are on overtime. You're killing me here, kid. Whatever, whatever. Going with this, Beast Boy dealing with this loss of Superboy. He's taking it harder than I think Ms. Martian is, maybe. Well, I don't know. She took it pretty hard too. But he's taking it pretty hard too. And I mean, they're doing this whole like drug dependency angle, but not like actual drugs, just like sleep aids and everything else like that. And I don't know. I mean, he's in a depression right now, so I mean, I'm gonna watch where this goes. I'm not knocking it because it's just like it's not superhero enough. It's taking a long time to get to the point of this. So Take a shot. Um, okay, so we then go to Clarion, where he's like heading back towards the Lord of Chaos's the Chaos Realm or whatever it's called, and he says, "I need heroes." And so then he jumps 10 years back, and this is where this whole stupid bus comes in, because we've been looking at this bus for the past 3 episodes, and we're like, "What the frick is up with the bus?" So what happens is he goes back 10 years. It is from season 1 of Young Justice when Superboy, or I'm sorry, Superman saves the bus full of kids in Metropolis, and Superboy pulls it back. Um, and then Superman says, "Oh, you could have destabilized the whole bridge." Blah blah blah. Back when they were still at odds, back in season 1. Um, and so then Clarion takes over the bus and takes it through time, space, and everything in between, because he basically uses it as new anchor, which is weird because he more possessed the bus instead of the bus being his anchor, like Tinkle. So a little weird, but okay. I'm going with it. This episode felt like it was going a million miles a minute at some parts. Um, so now we go through a little bit more of Zatara's flashbacks and his origin, and he's he sees Superman on the screen and he wants to be a hero like Superman, so he starts to take his act, because he was a magician, a stage magician, but he also threw a little bit of real magic in there to make his stuff a little bit more believable. So then he decided to start helping, and so he starts to then he gets approached by Kent Nelson, the first, well, not the first Doctor Fate, but the last Doctor Fate, um, and starts to help him like honing his magic skills and stuff like that. And then I think eventually he joins the Justice League at this point. But um, at this point, Doctor Fate is starting the hunt for Child. And this is where this episode gets really, really freaking crazy. Like, they're going all in on this. Child is a nightmare. Um, they're tracking down Child. They go to Sydney, Australia, and like there's literally a volcano in the middle of Sydney, like in the middle of the city, just there. Like, um, she's creating these pillars of fire that they're having a hard time containing. Um, and she's going from from place to place, and just the whole world is just getting rocked, because I know that they go to Manhattan and there's more of these pillars, and even supervillains like the Wizard is jumping in to kind of help you know counteract some of this, because they're just like like even the villains are like, well, this is the Earth. I don't want the Earth to blow up. I live here. So they're kind of, even some of the villains are kind of jumping in and being like, we got to do something. And so they go to several different places. I didn't write all of them down, but I know that they went to Manhattan. They went to Atlantis, where they were fighting, the fire pillar, and they were just basically chasing Child. Like, they're like, oh, Child, and even Doctor Fate is like, Child is not here. We have to go. And the Sentinels are like, no, we have to help these people here now. And like, and then the Phantom Stranger comes in and he's like, no, I've called the Justice League, the Outsiders. Everybody is in. Like, this is a top tier level threat. Like, everybody is here to help. You guys have to go find Doctor Fate, or I'm sorry, Child, and stop her now. And then Zatanna's like, I hate to admit it, but I agree with Doctor Fate, or Nabu. She won't call him Doctor Fate. She'll call him Nabu. She's like, I hate to agree with Nabu, but he's right. So then they go, and there's a bunch of chasing around and stuff like that. There's more with this bus and going through the timeline, and anywhere we've ever seen a bus in the Young Justice show, it shows up here again. Like, I mean, everywhere there's a bus, it's actually Clarion going through time with the same bus. Until the very end, where Clarion is like, she, at the beginning of this whole thing, where they're riding the merry-go-round animals, to the tower, not the Tower of Fate, to Lady Xanadu's place, and to Lady Xanadu's place, and they almost get hit by a bus. And then he's like, oh, those are the heroes I needed. And then he keeps on chasing them. They finally make it to the Arctic. I want It was a very snowy Arctic-y place, so I'm guessing it's the Arctic. Um, and so they show up, nobody's there, and so they're just like, oh, she's gonna be here, and then Child shows up and basically starts rocking them, and Dr. Fate unleashes like his full power, and all the Sentinels put their power into Zatanna. Zatanna puts her power into Fate, and then there's this big explosion, which I'm gonna put in the thumbnail. Kind of looks like the Phoenix, like from X-Men, but like with the Fate symbol. And then just Child just rocks him, like just this ice hand comes out and just grabs Fate. It's just like she like they're all jobbing to Child. So I don't know if this is like the main villain of this season, because this is pretty crazy. Like what's going on? Like we went from like smaller condensed arcs in the first half of the season to like holy crap, shit's on fire. So I don't know if this is going to be like, and I mean there's an image somewhere in this thing um, uh, of Vandal Savage kind of just watching from the war world, and like there's like these flame pillars coming out of the earth, and like shit's going down. Like I don't know if this is supposed to be like, I mean I assume there's 26 episodes or 23 episodes in the season, but there it went from like 5 to like 11 in like one episode. And I mean, I get it. It's a chaos lord. It's an element. It's a chaos element of the universe. The Earth is small fries and slim. Like it should be. Like Child could probably snap her fingers and blow up the whole planet. That's not what the chaos lords do. They that's what they do. They want the chaos. They don't want to just be like destroy it and be done. But still, like I mean, there's just holy moly. Um, so yeah, so Dr. Fate, Zatanna, and the Sentinels, they got their hands full. Like every single one of them. Like the entire Justice League has been called in. The entire, all the outsiders, the team, everything like that. I'm surprised we didn't see a lot more. We even saw the Arrow, what is it, the Bow Hunters agency or whatever. Like they almost hit a bus last season in season 3, and so you see that in this episode. But like, I mean, it's yeah, like there. This is crazy. Like this episode just kicked it off like into high gear. The end credit scene is Superman talking with Black Lightning. I think they're in, it's not Dubai. Where is it? I don't remember. I'm sorry. It was the frozen place that they visited. Not the Arctic, but the um, Taipei. I don't remember. But Superman was basically saying to Black Lightning, like, look, we may need to start this reserve Justice League initiative where we have like because we don't want to rely on guys like the Wizard who are criminals to help us. Like, we may need to like activate like have a reserve system where in a situation like this where everything is going to hell, we can call on every single person we absolutely can, and we can get them, and mobilize them efficiently. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, they had it in Justice League Unlimited, so I mean, this is kind of going to be like the Justice League Unlimited version for Young Justice. So, yeah. Wow. So this episode, I was doing okay with these episodes. They were a little slow getting started. I feel maybe not slow to get started, but like they weren't. I felt like this went from like a 5 to an 11, like that. Like this episode, like as soon as Clarion was out of the picture, it was like gas pedal. Like for freaking sake. But I mean, obviously this is breaking the four, as far as I know, this is breaking the 4 episode formula where it's where because I mean the first 4 were the Mars arc is what I call it. The next 4 were the what are they called? Oh crap! What are their last names? I can't remember. Cheshire and Artemis Croc. The Croc arc is what I'm calling it. The Croc arc. And now I thought this would just be like a 4 episode like magic arc. But no, this is kicking it up into high gear. We're gonna get a couple. I would assume we're gonna get 1 or 2 more episodes out of this, if not more. So anyway, that all being said, thank you very much for watching. If you've watched this on YouTube, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Leave your comment down in the bottom. about your favorite moment of this episode or of this season so far. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you've maybe kind of sort of possibly heard of. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.